An NBA legend decided to rip Luka Doncic, and we're going to talk about it because it's mid-August and we're looking for content. Harrison Graham and Jeffrey Cooperstein with you. If you watch the Showtime Lakers series, you should be familiar with Michael Cooper.
One of the better characters in the show.
Got inducted into the Hall of Fame this year, by the way. He had some interesting remarks about one Luka Doncic. Here's what he had to say. Quote, Luka gives you a triple-double almost every night, but he's too slow for me. If he wasn't a scorer, I would cut him. But he could score, so you have to give him credit. To me, he is lazy and doesn't hustle back on defense. I think that to that last sentence, you could make some level of an argument for, I don't think lazy is the right word, but I think I think almost bored's the better word.
He gets bored because he's so good at basketball.
In the regular season, I do think, especially if he's bored and or frustrated, yeah, he might not always get back on defense. And that's, that can be frustrating as a fan at times. But to say, first of all, if he wasn't a scorer, you would cut him. Well, he's also the best current passer in the league. At least top 3 with LeBron and Jokic.
And a top 15 rebounder.
He's also an excellent rebounder. He also is a proven playoff player. He's also, like I don't know, man. This if he just said he's a little lazy in terms of getting back on defense, I'll be like, okay, I can hear that. But you would cut him? I mean, that's out of control.
But I'll also push back on that a little bit. Like, there are plays, yes, where he takes off on defense, but to say he doesn't hustle back at all on defense,
yeah, it's extreme.
Last year was by far the best defensive year of his career. I'm not saying he's an all-NBA type defender, but I'm also going to say that he's not an awful defender by any means. He's an above average to above average defender, and frankly, that's all he needs to be in my eyes. If he takes another step on that end, that's great. That probably also means his offense is going to be sacrificed a little bit. I'm just so tired of people who don't watch games. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Michael Cooper didn't watch the Mavs a lot last year. I'm just tired of them.
He probably watched the finals when the Mavs lost in not great fashion.
And he was hobbled.
Made a generalization. So.
And I'm just tired of the narrative surrounding him that he's a lazy player. I just don't think that's the case.
You don't get to the NBA Finals on a bad knee if you're lazy.
Exactly.
It's just not. The league. It's disrespectful to the league if you think that that's even possible. Like
100%.
It's too hard to win in this league right now, especially in the West. If you're not going balls to the wall, like Luka is a gamer, we know that. I'm not gonna say I got no ill will toward Michael Cooper, but it feels like to me he watched the finals and he watched the Mavs get smoked, and he's like, yeah, it's because Luka's slow and lazy. And it's like, well,
that's not really why.
His knee's banged up. He didn't have the best series, sure, but, like, come on, man. Like, this guy probably should have won the MVP last year based on his play and just led his team to the finals, whereas the year before they didn't even make the playoffs. Like, let's not get extreme with our takes here. Like that, we'll leave that for Undisputed in the boys.
Is Undisputed still with us?
No, it's Jover.
It is Jover. Sorry, Skip. We'll see ya. But, yes, narratives are also, they are extrapolated and they are exaggerated from the finals. That was the last time we saw Luka play, and everyone who watched knows that it wasn't a great series for the Mavs. And for people to talk about for the next 3 months about, oh, he's lazy, he's this and that, let's remember that he got to the finals, number one. And number two, he did it with multiple injuries and battled through a lot. I'm just tired of the narratives, and I'm glad the season's almost here.
It's kind of like it's kind of like the anti-LeBron crowd. And look, no, I'm not saying Luka's LeBron. No one is. But LeBron gets punished for his finals losses. Like it's almost like the narrative around him would be better if he made the finals less often and had a better win-loss rate. Like, he'd be better off if he was 4-2 in the finals.
Versus 4-6.
4-6.
100%.
That's crazy.
It's embarrassing.
How many finals in a row did he go to at one point?
It was 8 in a row.
8 in a row.
Yep. What are we doing?
But he lost 5 of them. Okay.
Sure.
He also won 4.
Getting there is an accomplishment in itself, and I'm just tired of it. So, F the haters. Type 77 to show Luka some love down below. We're always going to defend our guy to the ends of the earth. There is no question about it.
Prize Picks is anything but hating, and they always show love. And,
oh, yeah.
If you want to play daily fantasy sports, Prize Picks is the place to do it. Basketball season is just around the corner, and you can start firing off your season-long entry projections because some season-long stat projections have dropped on Prize Picks. And we got a doozy here, a little 3-player entry here. Luka Doncic, more than 31.9 points per game there. He averaged, I think, 33 and change last year, so 32-plus seems likely there. Steph Curry, more than 27.6. I'm taking the more just after what I saw in 2 Olympic Games. The guy was unbelievable. And then VIctor Wembanyama, who could be an all-NBA caliber player in year 2, more than 24 points per game as well. 3-player entry, 10 to win 50 there, 5 extra money on that entry right there. You got football season almost here as well. Baseball season ongoing. Plenty of sports. You can cross over your sports with your picks. 2 to 6 player entries. Choose more, choose less on the stats. And if you hit, you can cash out. PrizePicks.com/CLNS. Use the code CLNS. Pick more, pick less. It's Prize Picks. They'll match your first deposit up to $100 with code CLNS.
All right, Harrison, we have some more schedule news coming out. Opening night, as it was last year, it's Mavs versus Spurs. Victor coming to the American Airlines Center.
And I'm going to go out on a limb here. So opening night for the league will be the Tuesday the 22nd. Correct. There will be a couple of games. Most teams will have their opening night Wednesday. So the Spurs and Mavs, unless one of them plays on that Tuesday, which I don't think is going to be the case, this will be their opening.
Yeah, it's opening night for both teams.
They've already announced it. Okay. So they'll have an extra couple of days to gear up. I think this is going to be one of the TNT games.
It is. Yeah, they announced this as a TNT matchup.
Luka Wemby. So it's kind of the third opening night.
Yes, exactly.
And the Mavs are, which, hey, any extra day to get Luka an extra offseason rest, I'm all for.
100%.
And I think a couple of things that have stood out in these early leaks that the NBA is trying to do. Number one, they're trying to feature Anthony Edwards a bunch.
Of course.
I mean, to put Minnesota on Christmas, that doesn't happen unless they have an American superstar. So they're trying to do that. 2, the Mavs are going to get a lot of prime time. Even more than they've had in recent years.
They'll get the max for sure. The 25 TNT/ESPN ABC games plus all the NBA TV. They'll be on national as much as possible.
And they're going to feature Wemby a lot as well.
Wemby's going to get some airtime. There is no question. And San Antonio should be better. They brought in Chris Paul. A couple of their young guys are going to be better. So they'll be on national TV a lot. And look, I'm always excited to watch Wemby. So that ought to be a fun one as well.
And by the way, it's mentioned in this next graphic here, the NBA Cup schedule. That first one is the one I wanted to mention. That's Klay's return to Golden State. So not only is that going to be an electric atmosphere, it's going to be an NBA Cup game. We'll see if there's extra juice in those games this year. I felt like sometimes there were last year, sometimes there weren't.
The Mavs were out of it early because they lost their first 2, and basically they were cooked after that. So we'll see. They try to go get a win in Golden State and give them some positive momentum in the NBA Cup.
That will be a top 5 environment game in the NBA.
Oh, yeah.
This year.
I think that'll be great.
Clay's return.
Klay return. He'll get a video tribute and all the bells and whistles going on there. So that'll be fun. The Mavs have a tough group, though. The Pelicans, Nuggets, and Grizzlies, all pretty good teams. Grizzlies going to be much better with the healthy Ja Morant this year as well.
Yeah, no question about it. And then
Christmas Day. We already know.
I mentioned the Anthony Edwards stuff. So, yeah, I mean, you're seeing the leaks come through. Tomorrow the full schedule will drop. So we'll see what other notable games stand out from that standpoint. We also know a little rematch with the Celtics. Not until January 25th. At the TD Garden, and then they come back just about 10 days later here to the American Airlines Center. So what's that, 7 games so far?
Yep.
We know 7 of the 82, 75 more to go. Full schedule release tomorrow. We're not going to break down all 82 games in a video, but we'll put like some kind of community post up with the schedule or something, so lock into that here on the channel. And we want to know from you guys. We're going to set the more or less, shout out to Prize Picks, at 53.5 wins for the Mavericks this year.
150 last year.
M for more, L for less. And remember, they were 50 and 30, and then they set their starters their last 2 games. So they easily could have won 51-52. It's a good number, Coop. West is tough. If they go more than 53.5, I think you're locked into a top 3 in the West.
I agree. And I'm going to take the more because I have full belief in this Mavs team that they're going to be even better than last year in the regular season. So let us know what you guys think, but I'm taking the more.
Let's go, baby. Hit that subscribe button. We're out of here. Schedule drops tomorrow. We'll continue to cover the latest Mavericks news and rumors. Until then, go Mavs.
Peace.